The Triple B podcast would like to invite you to come break bread with your brothers. If you like what you're hearing on the show, if you think we missed the mark, or if we got it all wrong, reach out to us on social media. We can be reached on Twitter at triple_B_pod or search Brothers Breaking Bread Podcast. We are the Brothers Breaking Bread on Facebook, and our email is brothersbreakingbreadpod@gmail.com. Further descriptions are in the show notes. Like, follow, friend, do all that good stuff, and please never forget to break bread with your brothers.
How y'all doing? We out here chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here chilling in the spot. How y'all doing? We out here chilling in the spot. What up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Brothers Breaking Bread podcast in the house. Hey.
We're having a little potluck. It'll be good.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's not just talk about it.
This is a beautiful thing, man. It's all this blackness, and we all just getting together, we playing dominoes, we eating, we drinking.
And, you know, food is always just the extra, man.
They deprive these people of their basic human rights. You know, and we call ourselves Americans. We're supposed to be above all this.
They'll fake the crisis. They'll make it seem way out of proportion.
We brothers, we breaking bread.
How y'all doing? We out here chilling in the spot. What up?
Trying to hold it all together, man. Life is moving fast right now, man. So it's good to have everybody come through.
I love that, man. I love it a lot. More than I could say to you guys.
Fam, there's not much to say, fam. They told me to tell you you measure some wastemans and stay in your place, fam. My dad is from Memphis and I am the king. I should probably just move into Graceland. Madonna's a ting I know and I'm the king of pop. I'm building Neverland. How he hate me when I never met the man. Woo! We might just get hit with the RICO. Me Millie. Cause we in the field with them bird like we play for the Eagles.
We're not no Eagles fans up over here. We should probably change the lyrics up just for today's show. But welcome back, family.
We might just get here with the RICO.
Yeah, so let's not do nothing illegal because I don't have no bail money.
True.
So let's do our check-ins before we hop into the show. Y'all know I can't see nothing, so let's start with Lady Lavender. How are you this evening?
I'm doing okay. I made it back to St. Louis today after 3 weeks away, which is kind of crazy. I was very happy, pleasantly surprised, and happy to see that my apartment was intact and it was not hella hot because I did turn the AC down or up, whatever you call it, when I left. So it was not super hot in here. It felt kind of nice, and there were no animals that had lived in my apartment or anything like that. I don't know why I was like worried that the windows would be broke and like animals would have moved into my place, but it was not like that. I do have, I guess, an announcement, kind of, sort of. So for a while now, I've been trying to, for years, really, honestly, especially since the pandemic hit, I've wanted to get into like work where I don't have to leave the house to do the work. Like I really just enjoy being at home and enjoy like taking breaks in the day and doing laundry and just getting back to work and then taking a walk or something like that. Anyway, I enjoyed the pandemic. I thrived. It was wonderful. It was great.
You thrived in the pandemic.
What'd you say?
I said you thrived.
Work-wise.
That's what's up. Yeah.
That was my thing. I loved working at home. So anyway, so since then I've been trying, really just racking my brain, like what the fuck do I want to do? What can I do? How could I make that happen some more? And I remember in January, my sister's godmother passed away. We went to her funeral in January anyway. And while we were at that funeral, I was talking to one childhood friend that I've been friends with like when I was a kid. His mom and my mom are like besties. And I remember being there and I was like, dude, yeah, I don't know what I want to do, but I know that I just can't keep doing what I'm doing. Like I just need to switch something up. And then like a week later, my sister told me or gave me a link to this like workshop to learn about this program that was out there. And I signed up for that free like 5-day program, learned about the stuff. I was like, holy shit, this I think is like for me. Started working on that, have worked like, it was basically like a second job the way I've been working this shit. Like every day after school last year, I would be at home working like 3, 4, 5 hours at night during the school day. When I had a plan period, I was doing work, just learning this platform, learning all this stuff. So anyway, I have gotten certification credentials, I guess you'd say, not certification, credentials to become like an instructional designer, which is something where you make, basically is the way you could describe it is like all those fucked up trainings that you do in life. So like, Joe, I'm sure you guys have had to do or about to have to do like the bloodborne pathogens and like all those like sexual harassment, like all those videos and like courses that you sit in where you just watch, you start them and you just leave the computer basically and don't come back. Those are the things that I would learn how to make, except I make them more engaging. I've learned how to make them more engaging. So now every time I see some of those things, I'm like, dude, this is so easy to make it better. Like, why is it like this? Anyway.
I was so pissed off today.
What'd you say?
I was pissed off today because they had me last minute having to re-up my concussion stuff for cross country for coaching. And the NFHS Learn one, you can't push it and walk away. It had you touching the computer like every fucking 15 seconds. I was so pissed off.
That's not the way to make it engaging, but that is a way to make you pay attention. But it's not like that strategy. That's annoying as fuck though. Like it's probably like you just had to push buttons. It wasn't really doing anything. It was just to move on to the next thing, which is not the way you should do it.
And I was listening to it, but they just would talk for 15 seconds and it'd be a new video, and I'm like, fuck, what? Just chat a little bit. I'm trying to make a sandwich over here.
That's annoying. So anyway, I did all that stuff and I started working on like portfolio stuff, building programs, building courses. I've built several courses at this point now, and have really just been trying to figure out how to get jobs in this sphere, in this ecosystem of instructional design. And had some talks with some people who were connected with some people in organization and companies, I guess I should say. And yesterday, I think I got offered a job. So yesterday, I also turned in my resignation for my teaching position. I'm officially, today I turned in my resignation for being a teacher. So I put in my 2 weeks, which is kind of.
You're not going to coach either, then, right?
What'd you say?
You're not going to coach either, then, right?
I don't know. I have to see what they want. I go in on Monday, and we'll see. Like I would love to still coach. I don't know. I know the main reason they wanted me, well, besides the fact that I'm good at what the fuck I do when I coach, another reason they wanted me to coach is because I was the only, I was in the building, and all of my assistant coaches, except one guy who's about to retire this year, don't work in the building. So they wanted to have somebody in the building who could like recruit kids and talk to kids and encourage kids and make sure kids are doing things that they want to do in the school. So I don't know if they will want to hold on to me. As a coach, I would love to still do it because that is something I do enjoy. I just know that I cannot be in the building. Every day for 2 years when I go in the building, I'm like, why the fuck am I here? I cannot leave. I cannot do this. I don't want to be in this building for, 7 hours during the regular school year. And then I don't even know how long during track season. I just don't want to do all that. Anyway, so that's my announcement. I just kind of got offered a job yesterday, and I'm going to talk to them on Monday to see what their salary talks are and do my first salary negotiation of my adult life.
That's awesome.
Which is kind of exciting. So that was long, but that's what's happening in my neck of the woods.
Shit, we need to start this consulting firm.
What'd you say?
I said you and I need to start this consulting firm.
Oh my gosh, I would love it.
And get paid.
I'm actually one of the things. So I had just turned in my resignation today, but I'm about to be like, hey guys, I'm leaving, but if you want me to make courses for you, even last year, I was already thinking about things I could do to make PDs better for the teachers and for the students. So I'm gonna try to start consulting with the school if they don't hate me, which I don't think they hate me, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, you turned that resignation a little late though.
I know, right? That's why I was like, I'm sorry. So it's it was going to happen. I knew I was going to do it, but now at least I have I attached it to because it is the reason I wanted to get out of education in the way I was doing it and move into the education the way I'm about to be doing it is because I wanted to be able to have more time with family. So like the past 3 weeks I've been in Houston, but every day I'm spending like at least 6 hours working on my instructional design portfolio and applying for jobs and doing all this stuff. So I was like, dude, this is like my life in the future. I could be in Houston and still be doing my job. I could see my mom and help my mom with all this stuff, or I could go to Maryland and see my brother. I could go anywhere else in the world, honestly. So that's been my goal and my dream. So now I'm going to be able to do that. But it is, when I texted the principal yesterday, I was like, there's no good timing with this, but like, I've done even more thinking with my dad passing, and now I feel like this is what is for me. I know I cannot do this. I cannot live life the way I've been living it anymore. And so I got to do me. And so I'm doing me.
Well, that's awesome.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Congratulations.
So it was really crazy too is that like I've missed all the like preschool PD, and I'm just gonna show up on Monday on the first day of school because we didn't start yet. I think you guys started, Joe, but we don't start till Monday. So I'm like,
we start Monday also.
Showing up. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I come first day of school. I texted one of the other instructional designers today. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be there Monday. What's happening? What's good? But at the same time, I am not that invested. So I'll be there Monday though.
That's a brave thing to do.
Yeah, it's very scary. Yeah. Very, very scary. But
I'm excited for you.
Thanks.
For you. Congratulations.
Thanks. Very, very different. I gotta do a lot of new things, but it's gonna be good, I think. I'm excited and I'm happy.
Good. You were previously down south. Let's head down south. Cole, what you up to?
What's up, good people? What's up, good people?
What up, cousin? What up?
No, not too much, man. Same old same. Gonna go to a concert tomorrow. Go see Snoop down here, so that should be interesting. Then next week's, huh?
That'll be nice.
Yeah. We will see what adventures happen, during that concert. So that one, and then next week supposedly going to see SWV and Jodeci. So hit up a couple concerts, just kind of relax and release. Been real busy with work as normal, but other than that, man, I don't have any amazing things to report. Other than the fact that
go ahead.
What up?
I was gonna say, I think you made an announcement last week that didn't get published. You want to re-announce?
Oh, true. So, since we didn't get it published last week, I did get engaged last week, and so we are in the midst of planning a wedding. You know what I mean? And right now, that wedding is going to be in Mexico. So looking at Cancun next year. Just every day has been, a little piece of planning going on. And, I see Kim over there smiling because apparently Kim has a new bestie. And, but, yep, that's it, man. Football season starting, about to roll around, jumping right out of AAU track into football, and new coach, new program. So hopefully we don't have to deal with the same woes that we dealt with last year. And the kids get a little better. So that's it, man. That's all that's going on over here for you, boy.
So new program, same school, or same school, new program, or new?
Oh yeah, same school, new head coach, totally all new coaching staff, all new defense, all new offense, all better.
Good.
All better. So watched some scrimmage last night, and they look like I'm not saying they're gonna go, to the playoffs and win state, but they definitely look like a more organized, more disciplined, they look like a football team. Let's say that.
Y'all not running the wing tee anymore?
No, sir. No, sir. We buried that with Dan Devine.
I thought y'all running the veer with Coach Boone.
Hey, yeah, that's gone. That's dead. So, yeah, man. So excited, man. This him, and he's got 3 friends, and all 3 of them are starters on defense, and they like real close. Been friends since like middle school and all that. So, it's fun time, man. They might be able to make a little noise next year. So.
Very good. I was going to ask how the scrimmage went, but it sounds like all was well.
I mean, weren't you there? Weren't you there?
What up, Coach? I was there in spirit. TT is always there in spirit.
I saw the text messages. You was there.
I was there in spirit, okay? I stay ready, so I don't have to get ready.
I know. I should have stayed home. You sending TV links and all that shit. I could have stayed at home.
But, yeah, I couldn't get my connectivity to roll, but I'm gonna try to tap in.
They not filming the scrimmage in town ball unless Jimmy Butler show up. So don't worry about it.
You gotta be dedicated. Speaking of dedication, Coach, you said you're getting ready to get back at it?
Yeah, we're heading into week 3 and of practice, and week 1 of school. So it's
cross country, right?
Yeah, cross country. Mm-hmm. So basically, my cross country team is members of the track team, members of the basketball team that are here for conditioning. So
nice.
If I can find some that take it serious and want to get to state, we'll work with that too. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so we're getting going. Celebrated my birthday this week. 10 came by for the celebration 2 weeks ago when my kids were still here. So shout out to that man. He brought me some Uncle Nearest. I was very appreciative of that. I think he's out this week still celebrating his birthday. And so
hey, y'all mentioned that. What is that? What is that, bro? Y'all mentioned Uncle Nearest. What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
We did an episode on that. Uncle Nearest is give me 2 seconds to get the bottle real quick. Hold up.
Bottle.
Oh, it's alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you had to say.
I mean, do we want to take You want to take a stab? Is it brown or no?
I'm sure it's brown.
Okay.
I'm positive it's brown.
All right. So, my bad. Uncle Nearest, I want to say, so he was a black man who ran a still, and basically white folks took over his recipe, and it became one of the major whiskey distributors out of Tennessee. So I thought it would be on the bottle, but basically one of the I don't want to start lying and saying which one it is, but one of the major Tennessee distillers had a black man who was behind the operation named Uncle Nearest, who had the recipe for their whiskey, but obviously didn't get the credit for it. So what they did is they went back and they used his original recipe and created a small batch kind of distillery. And there was a nice little campaign on it starring Jeffrey Wright, you know what I'm saying, doing a commercial. So Uncle Nearest was a black man from 1884, probably a former slave, who made some white folks rich off of his knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So
I remember hearing about this or reading about it a few months or years. Time flies. I don't know how long it's been. I remember hearing about people talking about the black man. So I'm glad that he's got liquor that's being sold.
Yeah, we did
it sold in regular places, or you got to order it somewhere special?
I mean, it's it's special. Excuse me. It's special, but I don't think it's special to where you gotta. It's not like Hennessy White or nothing like that, where you got to get it in
What's the volume?
93.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So I mean, I think it's maybe VSOP level type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Nah, it's solid. It's solid. So anyway, we had talked about it on the show before, and I guess Tim remembered that and brought some by. He was curious about it, so was I, and we broke bread and drank. So
good man.
Yeah, man. So that's about what I got for the week. What up, honey buns?
So just to piggyback, cause y'all know I'm quick on these fingers. Nathan Green is the gentleman's name, and so thank you, kind sir, for making these lovely libations. So I am week 1 into my new position with my organization.
Bye.
Thank you so much. And my team is just about all accounted for. So I have to hire one more, and I have to hire one more community health worker and two more case managers, and then my team will be full. I realized today when the CEO of our organization was in a meeting and she called me by my first name that shit just got real. So our CEO of our Medicaid plan, who's getting ready to depart, called me out by name. So I thought that was a pretty nice moment to have. It was very humbling. And again, I'm just feeling like I'm in a blessed space to be able to do the work I love on behalf of the population I love, for the state that I'm currently in. But I'm coming for a region near you. So that's going to be the next endeavor I just learned today. So we're getting ready to take this thing regionally. So it's nothing but growth and opportunities over here, and I'm definitely blessed. As long as I'll be able to stay in my current state of Kansas, as long as I don't have to relocate, I'm good.
So you said new venture. Are you going independently? Like you got private?
No, so before I was just housed at the health plan, so I was housed at the state of Kansas, but now I went from being a clinical admin to basically it's hard to say, a regional director.
A boss, damn it.
A regional director of a team. Rick Ross, I am a boss. Yes. So it's been a humbling experience. But my team is lovely. We have the most diverse team in the region. I am managed by an awesome Black woman, and we have a whole, minority woman squad, a couple of minority males on our team. So it's been good. It's been real good. Very humbling, but again, glad to be where I'm at. So if I sound like I'm half dead, it's because I know I put in a good 60 this week, but it was well worth it.
All right.
Speaking of some 60, somebody who's been overtime on some shit, Mr. Rudy Giuliani, who we alluded to with the RICO. We gonna link the articles, right?
Yeah, we'll link. Well, you don't have to link the article. Yeah, you don't know how to do that part. Okay.
Okay, I got that. So Rudy Giuliani just kind of he might get caught up on the RICO. So on Monday night, Giuliani, Donald Trump, and 17 other co-defendants were slapped with organized crime charges. That's what they call a RICO, in Georgia under the state's RICO law for allegedly having been a part of a vast conspiracy to overturn the 2020 presidential election. The hero of RICO itself had been hoisted with his own petard. Maybe somebody got their ACT words together. So the article goes on to say, well, do we want to talk about the irony of all this real quick?
Yeah, we can. I mean, he's been a big advocate for RICO laws, and now he's been hit with one. So I say run the music back. I say let it play. You know what I'm saying?
I still feel like at the end of the day, while we're trying to pull it back up, I feel like the irony, so I guess the woman, or the person, excuse me, because I don't know if it's a woman or not, the district attorney of Fulton, who is leading the prosecution, chose to hit the hero of RICO with a RICO rap that has not been lost on Juliani Rogers. Appointed as U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York in 1983, he did not so much invent the anti-racketeering law, which was enacted in 1970, as became an early adopter in its use against organized crime. So the thing that he
see the trick is to leave the tab up and then you can come back to it.
Yeah. Rookie mistake. We might not get hit.
I don't know. For him, I think it would be funny. If he landed up in jail with a motherfucker who he hit with the RICO charge.
Yeah.
That's why I think the irony would be.
If he's not in the cell with him, he'll at least see him in the outside somewhere. Somebody's gonna let him know. Oh, hey, I'm in here for RICO. Meet my fists.
So he about to catch a case and catch a charge too.
Yes, indeed.
We can only hope.
Kim over here on the ones and twos. we get it all sorted out.
I'm gonna get it together.
She got her little clock radio out to get it working.
Did you say a clock radio? Don't hate on my shit. And if we talk over it, maybe we can play it a little bit longer.
Maybe so. So anyway. Yes, indeed. Get it popping. You gonna ride? You gonna let it ride? What we doing? What we doing?
You're in the tune selector.
I think we said 30 seconds at a time, sister.
So now, because I can't figure out how to turn off my phone, we just gonna have to kind of move into the next damn story. My iPhone has been doing its own thing here.
Let's not move into the whole new story. Let's talk about the RICO. What did Trump do to get caught up in the RICO? And Giuliani.
Well, I thought we had kind of expand upon it.
No, I know one of the things. So I know one of the things is that they have him on the phone, trying to solicit and get them to find 5,000 more votes so he could win Georgia.
Yeah.
Like that's documented, recorded.
They have
that he was on the phone like, I just need 5,000 more votes.
Wait. They have Trump on the phone, or they have Giuliani on the phone?
They have Trump on the phone talking to either Giuliani or someone else, saying I need you to give me 5,000 more votes.
It wasn't five. No,
like
that was he was talking to the Attorney General and maybe the governor of Georgia at the time. I don't think it was Kemp. I think it was just the Attorney General. And he was saying we need 11,780, and that was one more than what we need, is what he said. And so, that was like, I was teaching that lesson on January 6th. Like on January 5th, we caught this nigga doing some really wild shit. Or maybe that was right. It might have been like a couple days before that. But we caught that shit, and I was trying to teach that lesson on January 6th, and then all hell broke loose. So I obviously pivoted and went a different direction with it. But no, we definitely caught him in that. And I think, but how does it become a RICO? How is that not just on him? How does that become a conspiracy?
So it says, in order to convict under RICO, prosecutors have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that there is an enterprise, which can range from a corporation to an informal group of individuals who undertake criminal actions as part of a shared goal. So basically, are they saying Trump, Giuliani, and the other allies they're the group that stands to profit.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
So and it's not just there, from what I understand. Like I'm not able to read the article here, but from what I understand, that there were people who were getting access to the voting machines in Georgia. So it was on some. Hey, the Democrats are breaking into the voting machines. How do you know? Because we're able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Republicans been doing. They've been telling themselves every time they make an accusation on the Democrats, it's because they know it can be done because it's something they've tried.
They know it can be done.
But I think I listened to another news story that it's also implicated across state lines because they're believing that same organization who was trying to overturn the election in Georgia were definitely trying to do it in Arizona, where it's much closer. And so, like you said, it was a criminal enterprise. It was not just Trump on the phone and Giuliani listening in. It was hundreds, maybe thousands of people in the know attempting to, you know what I'm saying, overturn the election. You know, did we get the my bad? Did we get the story about the leader? What was the name of the fucking white supremacist group?
Oh, January 6th.
Proud Boys.
Proud Boys. Yeah. Did we get the story about the Proud Boys too?
We didn't pull it up, but I can.
Well, let's just tie it in. We ain't got to pull it up. We can just tie it in. So that might be part of that enterprise. They're talking about giving them 33 years, which is twice as much as anybody had gotten up to that point. And so go ahead, Cole.
How are the Proud Boys? How are the Proud Boys? And when you're talking about on a RICO level, like there's different levels to an organization. So how are they not just the muscle? You know what I'm saying? Like it's different levels to it. So that's just another level of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is coordinated. From several different levels, several different people, and it was buzzing all back and through what was then Twitter. You know what I'm saying? To make that happen. So then you got they tried to send different electors from these states to try to, you know what I'm saying, steal the vote. So I mean, these are the type of allegations I was expecting to see when they brought back up the payments to the stripper. I was like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But now they starting to get into the meat, like the stuff that I was expecting to see from the get-go when we talk about criminal investigations. So, to me, from what I heard, the FBI doesn't bring charges unless they feel like they can convict.
Oh, yeah. That's the theory that, you know, by the time they show up, they already got you.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, they should have a hell of a case against Trump and this organization.
But what's wild is he can still run for president while all this is going on, which he will and still is attempting to do.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
And if he wins, there's a possibility he could be he could be would he be the first indicted person to be president?
I mean,
after being president?
Well, there's only two presidents who have run. Well, there's a handful of presidents that left the presidency, came back, and ran again. And only one of them won. That was Garfield. Roosevelt ran again under a different party, but didn't win. So, I don't know. It's really unprecedented. So, I don't know.
We're going to have the first president from jail.
Yeah. Yeah. He had the rectangle office.
Yeah, this
Vice President Bubba.
Instead of doing like the Easter egg hunt on the North Lawn, this nigga have it out in Gin Pop.
have it
Y'all
out
walk
on the
around
yard.
the track. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Walk around the track. Find
the Cell Block 4.
Yeah.
Stay away from the gun line.
That's right. Tell them about the gun line, boss.
I'm just scanning to make sure that we've got everything. There's a little blurb in here that talks about how, in order to prove racketeering, we talked about that part already. There was a part here that talks about legal memos. They actually put this stuff on actual letterhead of the wrongdoings that are being done. So I can't imagine that this is going to be like super hard to push through and have some real legal consequences, but I don't know. We're going to see. You all think that the what do they call them? The Proud Boys? I always call them the good old boys, but the Proud Boys, y'all think they were just muscle to this whole thing?
I think they were party to it.
Yeah, I think every good criminal organization needs muscle.
Mm-hmm.
I say that.
I think they were literally showing up with the intention of a coup.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which, now, you talk about things that could disqualify Trump. The 14th Amendment, a lot of people are talking about, could disqualify him because in the 14th Amendment, it basically states, I get confused if it's 14 or 13. I think it's 14. But if you were somebody who took an oath of office as a member of our government, and then you were in insurrection against the government, you can no longer hold an office. And so that was referring to the Civil War. If you were Jefferson Davis or somebody, maybe you were a congressman or whatever, and then you left the United States government to be part of the Confederate States, and you were in armed rebellion against the United States, that amendment says you can no longer come back and be part of the American government. That would be disqualifying if you declare January 6th as an insurrection, which this court case seems to be doing.
So with this court case, do they need to, because like people have been saying that for a minute, it's like this was an insurrection, he shouldn't be able to run, he needs to be convicted or like found guilty of leading an insurrection before that takes place, or before people say he can't run?
Yeah, I think that's where the RICO comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the court case says that these leaders of the Proud Boys were engaged in insurrection against the United States, and that they are part of a RICO organization that is in this is this case out of Georgia? The FBI? Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So is there 2 suits out of Georgia now? 2 indictments out of Georgia?
I believe so.
Yeah. So anyway, so if this RICO paints him as a tied to the, the Proud Boys attempt to, lead an insurrection against the United States, I think you could definitely cite the 14th Amendment, take it to the courts, and see if he's eligible to be an officer of the United States.
Well, the prosecutors are saying the foot soldiers of the right aim to keep their leader in power. They failed. So they're making it seem like it's all tied together. I mean, shit. Y'all just pieced that together for me. Yeah. This was a long way around the mulberry bush, but I guess better late than never.
Well, that is what I do for a living, so.
Educate the masses.
Indeed. That's what Ada used to do. Now she writes programs.
I still make educational stuff. Just for adults now instead of kids.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, let this young man educate us real quick.
Take actually a lukewarm take if you've actually been fucking paying attention. The shade room, when it comes to information, is one of the worst things that has ever happened to the black community. Oh no, what did the shade room do? Stick with me, because this is actually insane. I know we've all heard about it at this point. Joe Biden announced a $700 payment to the families who are affected by the fires that have happened recently in Maui. And before I continue, as the number of...
Did y'all know that Joe Biden had actually given that $700 to the people?
I mean, after watching this video, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to Maui. I know it's a tragic thing going on. I've been to Oahu. I heard Maui is very beautiful, and so the fact that it's on fire sucks.
They're up to like 120 people, deceased.
Wow.
I think I saw something the other day that said that only 5 out of the 105 at that point had been identified because the bodies are so
charred.
Yeah, that you can't even sue. And they said there's might be up to 1,000 people passed away.
Dang.
So if monies have been given out, kudos. But I mean, 700 is obviously not a lot. But I think what he's trying to do is offer some context for that.
As the number of lives that have been claimed by this fire continue to rise, I hope we can all understand how much a threat climate change is. My sincerest condolences go out to everybody who's been affected by the fires, and I hope for a speedy recovery for the entire state of Hawaii. I don't have thoughts and prayers because we need action. We've been needed action. With all that being said, let's talk about what is true and what isn't true and why this discourse is making me literally nauseous. So if you aren't aware that the Shade Room is right-leaning, I don't know what the fuck you've been living under. Trump, or the top Republican that they're considering to be president again, mind you, just got hit with a damn RICO charge. They reported it and then chose to report Trump is hiring a liberal lawyer who supported to defend him again. As if that fucking means anything, almost to suggest that, oh, even a liberal's defending him. It must be bogus. Oh, and would you look at that, conspiracy theories in the comments about how they really don't want him to run next election because they know we want Biden out. And that same sentiment came to a head under this post because these are the comments. They gave billions to Ukraine, but our own U.S. citizens get $700. Billions to Ukraine, and now all the $700, 700 ain't finna get them gas. You won't ever be president after these F-ups. Sent trillions of dollars to Ukraine, but not even your own country. Hold up, you sent almost $1 trillion to Ukraine? This seems planned. With every bone in me, I hope y'all don't vote for this clown again in 2024, if he runs again. Bro, you can't even take care of your own country, but you sent Ukraine, trillions to Ukraine. Please don't vote for this dude again. Okay. Couple things. Level 1, what has Biden actually done? Shocker, it wasn't just $700. There are 300 FEMA workers on the ground right now. FEMA has now provided 50,000 meals, 75,000 liters of water, 5,000 cots, and 10,000 blankets to the people of Maui. FEMA has also activated a transitional sheltering assistance program to help people who are displaced find a hotel or a motel. The critical needs program to get people additional food, water, and other supplies was the $700 that was issued. Also, multiple federal...
Okay, so there's the context.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he got FEMA up over there, got some cots, some coverage, and then the $700 as a first layer of support.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, he's going to talk, and I don't know how much we're going to listen to, but the president is not a king. The president has limitations. So, I mean, this shit is ongoing. They haven't put the fires out. And so, in order to allocate funds to the people of Maui, they have to have Congress move, and Congress has not moved. He made an executive order to disperse funds that were already engaged in FEMA out to these people to get something in their hands so they can make it through the week. You know what I'm saying? And so, I think so. What he's really doing is he's coming for the Shade Room. And I don't know if we've used the Shade Room on here before, but he's calling it right-leaning. Have y'all experienced that?
I don't pay that much attention to the Shade Room like that to know that whether it be right-leaning or not.
I've never considered them to be a credible source. But if you want to reach the masses of people, especially if they're minority, this content, like not this particular article, but other content that they have could probably grab in. So if this is just a means to air quote brainwash folks, it could be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think whether we consider it to be a credible source is relevant because, I think their objective is probably not to reach people who, read through the 5 lines and double check facts and, cross-reference it. They're probably trying to get the people who go for clickbait and take that shit as the gospel and don't give a fuck where it came from,
Big facts.
Well, I don't know whatever this young man is going to do in the future, but if he ever anywhere and I need the fine print read, he's my guy. Because he's going to thumb through every single detail and make sure that you are paying attention to what you're commenting on, which is crazy because, I mean, that's really what the society is right now. Motherfuckers look at a picture, look at a clickbait or something, don't even read through it or thumb through it, and then form their whole ideology off of that fucking view.
Off the fucking headline.
Kudos to him for that.
Yeah, don't even read the article. Just read the headline. Yeah, so
exactly. You form a whole ideology off of a headline. So for him, I kudos to him for always jumping in and seeing if something just looks completely way the fuck off base. Like he put up one of these videos and chop it up real quick. And I just appreciate that there's young kids out there like that and people out there that still pay attention to the important shit. You know what I'm saying? Facts over fiction all the time.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna keep watching the video. But he comes for Trump, and so Maui, they're saying, "Oh, that's the United States state, and they only get $700." But look at what Trump did in fucking Puerto Rico. This nigga was actively trying to withhold funds from an American protectorate.
Yep.
And then went down there and started throwing fucking bounty rolls,
paper towels and water and shit.
He was over there shooting
paper towels.
Like he's Steph Curry at this motherfucker, man. That was some really ugly shit.
Yeah, he was throwing them paper towels like motherfuckers throw them fish in Seattle.
Yeah, man. And they still
motherfuckers catch them.
He was talking about they still have fucking tarps over the roof because they still haven't gave out all the funds they were supposed to give to Puerto Rico. So, shout out to this young man. You know.
And it's going to be in the show notes. This was a really, really, really good video. And if Spectrum wasn't acting an ass, I'd be able to fast forward through it.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling? You feeling foggy?
Is this a Spectrum cable? Is that what it was?
I'm not doing this for y'all. Speaking of education, and we just got educated by that lovely young man. I believe he's out of Chicago. If I have to follow you, you definitely spark some interest in me. But Arkansas is being a little ass backwards, and nixing advanced placement African American studies. And not only did they do it, they did it at the very absolute last minute. I do believe it was. Okay, let me read the article. Word came Friday from distraught educators that a new advanced placement course on African American history was suddenly on the chopping block just 2 days before the first bell of the school year was set to ring in Arkansas high schools planning to offer the class. I was about to say Arkansas. Bless my spirit. That's just how tired I am. An official from the Arkansas Department of Education reportedly alerted high school teachers by phone on Friday that the class would not be recognized for course credit by the state in the 2023-2024 school year. And unlike with every other AP class officer, the state would not cover the $90 cost of an end-of-year test that gives the students the opportunity to qualify for college course credit.
Yeah.
Sneaky. Them sneaky bitches didn't even have the to tell motherfuckers face to face.
Well, you know who was involved in? You know who the governor is in Arkansas?
Sarah Huckabee.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Yep.
Huckabee Sanders. Yeah, this is the part that's fucked up because these people must have been about to start school, and all of a sudden they just get an email that says, when kids that are signed up to be in your class that you got on your roster in your email the other day, they're not going to be able to get any credit for taking this class that you're going to be teaching them. And
there were people who needed a certain amount of AP hours, I believe, in order to graduate. And there was a bunch of wheels that got turned there because Sarah Huckabee and her, for those of you who don't remember, she was a longtime press secretary for Donald Trump. Her dad was the governor of Arkansas, maybe directly after Clinton, maybe a little bit after him. And so now she is taking over her dad's old seat as the governor of Arkansas. But she's also a Trump acolyte. And she wants to get rid of critical race theory, and she waits the last possible moment to do it. So,
So in addition to it just being jacked and whacked, it says the course will not count as credit towards statewide graduation requirements. So not only they're removing the AP aspect of it, like you're not going to get that course, but it sounds like the course at one point counted towards graduation, so that way you were naturally spreading the knowledge. But now it's like, no, we're not even going to count this towards graduation.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be an elective. So it's a pilot program. I think Ada went through some trainings last year in Buffalo.
Yeah, last summer.
I have not been through the trainings, but I think there were like 60 schools that tested it out last year, and now there's going to be like 600. And so I am one of the 600 school. I represent one of the 600 schools that are going to be teaching that. So I'm going to take that course on this year. And I don't know. I'm kind of waiting for Missouri to watch Arkansas and watch Florida and decide, you know what?
Yeah, I feel like I would not be surprised if they do some shit like this too in the state.
Yeah, so I mean,
are they going to continue to offer a course now that there's no credit? Or because what's the point of even having?
So like, I did read.
What's the point of having it on there?
So I did read that Little Rock Central, who would definitely be featured heavily in the course. For those of you who don't know, after the Brown v. Board decision, Little Rock Central had a big deal where they were trying to integrate schools. We just saw last year where what's my guy from the Cowboys? Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was there, not at Little Rock Central, but elsewhere in Little Rock, standing at the door trying to keep them niggers out of his educational institution. So Little Rock will be featured heavily in the course. So I read that they're going to continue to, do it, because if Little Rock Central is anything like Kansas City Central, it once was white. It has been integrated, and now it's probably heavily black. So,
pretty sure it is.
And I know our higher ups were very intentional about making sure we were among this pilot program. So I'm sure Little Rock Central is doing the same thing, whether it's for Arkansas credit or not. I guess you could probably still get the college credit.
Yeah, if you pass the test. The thing they're saying is that they're just not going to pay for the kids to take the test, because some school districts pay for students because you got to pay to take all these AP exams. So I guess they're saying you can take the class. We're not going to help you. You're not going to get a credit for it. And if you want to take the test, you got to pay for it yourself.
Are they going to pay for the teacher?
That's always the question.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would imagine no.
Yeah.
And at that point, that kind of brings me back to my point. Like, what are we doing? What's the point of acting like you're offering it then?
I mean, you could do it because I'm teaching the course. I have one section, and then I teach 5 sections of something else. So if it's only one section, I don't know if they take away part of, like, prorate the salary, because you are going to be teaching 5 other accredited courses or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then I guess if you want to, I'm sure you could pull from whatever fund or budget that you have and supplement it if you really want to make it happen. I'm sure. So
I'm just saying, how does that ultimately, in the long term of their education and their goals and their credits and everything, how does that benefit them if they're negating what they're doing in the classroom right now?
But I feel like the benefit is more just learning the content. It's more like at a college, you might take an extra class just to take it. So kids, I feel like, want to take this shit because they've heard about it. They've heard the controversy behind it. A lot of kids are like, I've never learned about African American history at school. Let me take this AP class. So I feel like there's still the benefit there. It's just the fact that if they're in the AP class, I'm assuming that they've gotten all their credits leading to graduation by the time they take this. But if it's a student who maybe didn't have all their history credits that they need, they may be taking this class and have to take an additional history class again, or another one that the school may hopefully offer in order to get whatever number of social studies classes you need to graduate. But a lot of times you only need 3 in many states to graduate, so you only need 3 years. So it should be fine credit-wise. It's just the slap in the face of like, yeah, you can take that class, but the state of Arkansas, the state of Florida doesn't give a shit if you take it. But hopefully colleges will still be like, oh, you took this class, it's the AP class, you took the test, or you took the AP DC credit with the local university, we're going to give you credit for this. We don't care what your state said. So hopefully it works that way, and not where it doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're, I mean, if they're negating it in high schools, I got a feeling, college, they're going to say the same thing eventually.
Well, this is going to be my first lesson. the first thing we're going to do after, assigned seats and, you know what I'm saying, whatever icebreaker, I'm not doing an icebreaker. But whatever little activities we do, this is the first lesson I'm giving. I'm like, well, why are we taking this course? Because people want to take this course away from you. And that probably means it's pretty fucking important and worth learning. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be my day one introductory lesson.
And that's, I feel like, I feel like what the people who are anti this course are going to fuck around and find out is that more kids are going to start taking this course. Like, kids in Florida are already requesting this class to be put back in. Like, more kids are going to want to take this class because it's like I don't know what the right word is, but it's the class that nobody wants you to take. Adults don't want you to take this. It's like, you can't say cuss words, and then every kid is fucking saying all the cuss words they can as soon as the adults are out of the room. They're going to want to take this class. So all these kids are going to be learning the shit that you think they shouldn't be learning because you don't want them taking this. To spite you, basically.
Is taboo the word you're looking for?
Yeah, it might be that. Yeah, it's like, it's taboo, and now everybody's going to be like, let's take this. Yeah. Let me take it and find out. Let me take it, and then I'm sure that even some of the, like, super red state kids are going to be like, ooh, let me take this to see what intel I can learn about how they hate America and how black people are better than us. Let me see what they say. And then they're going to take the class and be like, oh, shit, now I like black folks. Black lives matter. You're right. So I really hope that shit like that happens and not anything on the other way.
But see, this isn't the only course that is like this. They have, like, I'm not sitting in front of the course catalog right now, but I know they have courses that are like about Jewish heritage or Irish or Italian heritage and that type of thing. And
not only the heritage, but like even in this, Sarah Huckabee Sanders was talking about this class of African American history is not American history.
It's anti-American.
And they're not going to learn. They're going to learn to hate America. Motherfucker, there's AP European history. There's like Asian studies. There's all these things where people are forced to learn about other continents and other countries, and in those classes they're learning about America but from their perspective, from the other perspective. So they may be learning things that are like not pro-America in all of those classes. The whole fucking AP European history class doesn't even touch on America. How is that not anti-American? It's all stupid.
Yeah,
it's dumb.
I mean, I think African American story is America's story.
That's not American history, that's African American history.
Yeah. So, fuck them niggas. I'm teaching this shit, so.
All right, we're going to have to protect you at all costs. Oh, I just want to tie this together real quick. So, there is a person that works on behalf of Arkansas that is actually a transplant of Florida. And so, it says Jacob Oliva, and I could be mispronouncing that, was appointed by Governor Sarah Sanders to be the education secretary. So Oliva was an import from Ron DeSantis' Florida, which led the charge against schools teaching history that doesn't center on heteronormative white people stuff. And that's per the article, y'all. But that does sound like some fly shit, I would say. During his tenure as a state-level education administrator in Florida, Oliva helped carry out DeSantis' administration's attack on lessons that included multiculturalism, non-traditional sexual orientations, gender identities, and things of that nature. So basically, he was like, I'm going to take that fuck shit that they own down in Florida, bring it up to Arkansas, and give me a boost in pay and a boost in title at the same time.
The coon that we flushed out the bushes last week in Florida, I believe his name was Dr. William Allen.
Yep.
And how Florida kind of said, hey, we have an actual black scholar, descendants of slaves, who says we're right, and that slavery benefited both sides or whatever, stupid shit. I was looking at the course curriculum for AP African American Studies was contributed by 300 scholars, PhD level African American. So you can take your little one scholar Florida and put it up against the 300 that the AP course has been, created by. I feel like there's a gap there. Something's not right. you know.
Right.
So I'm excited to teach it. I haven't delved into it completely because I've been busy with other aspects of getting ready for school. But there's like 4 units. We'll be getting ready for some multiple choice and try to, get some FRQs ready to go, free response questions, and see if we can't get somebody to pass it.
It's gonna be fun to teach. I feel like this is a class where it's not only gonna be fun to teach, but it's also gonna be fun as the educator, seeing the kids learning stuff that they'd never learned before. Some of them they have never learned before, and it'll be a fun class to teach. I'm excited to hear how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, you never know, man. You could be at a pivotal point in history, though, man. When we look back on this, where everything goes, you could be on the front lines of some shit, bro.
Yeah, or the gallows.
We gonna say front line. We gonna say frontline heroes, bro.
Let's see. I need that hazard pay. We could teach from PragerU though.
Yeah, Lady Lavender, we're gonna play this clip, and I think this may tie into your new and developing career path. Let's type it in.
You could get hired by PragerU. You excited about that prospect?
No.
Not
No.
Not at the least.
Let's hear it.
Children, our founding fathers knew that slavery was evil and wrong, and they knew that it would do terrible harm to the nation. They wanted it to end, but their first priority was getting all 13 colonies to unite as one country. The southern colonies were dependent on slave labor, and they wouldn't have joined a union that had banned it.
Are you okay with that?
I'm certainly not okay with slavery, but the founding fathers made a compromise to achieve something great, the making of the United States. It was America that began the conversation to end it.
Hey, pause it real quick.
Leo is correct that big problems need to...
So this is supposed to be some kids who went back in time to talk to Frederick Douglass. And I don't know how the conservatives have co-opted Frederick Douglass. I mean, I'm sure he was a Republican, in his day, because the Republicans were the right party to be back then. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe for a second he'd be a conservative today.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And so I told a story about a year ago where my mother tried to pull the wool over my eyes about Frederick Douglass and tell me that he doesn't believe that slavery was written into the Constitution. And I was like, I don't give a fuck what you think you know about Frederick Douglass. That is not what Frederick Douglass said. And I went and found like 3 direct quotes from him that contradicted it. So I don't know why the right has decided that Frederick Douglass is their guy and that he is backing them up. But they are putting some bullshit coming out of Frederick Douglass's mouth that this nigga would probably put a cease and desist on if he was still alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't know. I think it's like the whole thing with, it's like, when we talk, like, you're 6'7", so if such and such, if Kobe can play basketball, why can't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Kobe can be great, why can't you? Like, so they're picking, and I think we mentioned that before, they're picking one exceptional Negro who was able to do some illegal shit to actually get himself in a position of freedom and where he was, and saying that we all can do what he did.
Right.
And you all can do what he did.
Because if we publish the episode that's missing right now, we talked about Dr. William Allen, and the example he used was Frederick Douglass. And Frederick Douglass benefited from slavery because he was taught how to read. And he was by far the fucking exception and not the goddamn rule. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I don't know how Frederick Douglass has become their guy, but they are leaning heavy into that shit. And that's why they want to stop these fucking courses from being taught, because they're going to have motherfuckers understand that, Frederick Douglass is not about this shit. Stop fucking co-opting it. Stop, lying about this shit. So...
All right.
But it really goes on. Like, there's the same people who every January and every February are like, Martin Luther King said this and this, and they tweak what he said. I was listening to an article or a podcast or something in the news just recently, and I listened to a longer podcast a few months ago, or it might have been a year ago, as time flies, talking about how even in churches, like some conservative, religious, Christian churches have found that right now when they tell their constituents, they read like actual verses from the fucking Bible that talk about what Jesus did. Like they said several ministers, pastors, reverends, whatever they're called in their places, have talked about Jesus said turn the other cheek, and somebody comes to the pastor, reverend, whatever, at the end of the session and is like, why are you talking about these liberal talking points? Jesus never said that. That's not what Jesus believes. So it's like this remaking of history, this remaking of certain figures, remaking of religion to fit what they want versus what actually happened.
Yeah, they obviously haven't looked at the red letter King James. Let's see.
Right. The red letter.
The red letter King James.
Yeah, I don't know.
We want to tap into some more of this video, or do we just
let it ride
acknowledge?
Let it ride a little bit longer.
All right.
Watch very carefully. Have you kids heard of William Lloyd Garrison?
No. Nope.
He's an abolitionist like me, and he and I used to be friends, but we aren't any longer. We don't agree how to solve problems. William refuses all compromises, demands immediate change, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he likes to set things on fire.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds like you know the type.
Yeah, we've got that type in our time.
So, you're trying to work for change inside of the American system.
Precisely, Layla. Our system is wonderful.
Yeah, y'all heard that.
This is insane.
This nigga's face when they came back to the screen. Oh.
Say that again, Cole.
I said this nigga's face when they came back to the screen after watching that video.
It's wild as fuck.
Oh wow.
They are using that to demonize the 2020 protesters who were Black Lives protesters. They're trying to demonize them and get rid of critical race theory and just make it safe for them to be their racist selves out here walking around. And they're willing to use historical Black figures who were definitely not on that type of energy to, you know what I'm saying, misquote the red letter. You know what I'm saying?
Well, much like the young sir in the audio clip earlier that was, talking about the $700, he's really asking us to challenge where we're getting the resources from. And so I was like, oh, this is kind of crazy. So I wanted to see what PragerU was about. So PragerU is responsible solely for the content of its presenters in PragerU videos and other PragerU produced media. PragerU is not responsible for, nor does it necessarily agree with or endorse anything said, written by presenters in any other forum. So then when you scroll down further, it says that PragerU is not an accredited university
at all,
nor do they claim to be. So what that U stand for?
Yeah.
Unity?
Right.
Not so much. We don't offer degrees, but we do provide educational, entertaining, pro-American videos for every age.
This you.
Mm-hmm. They hired right now. I feel like they hired.
Hey, you just said you can make shit better. Let's go.
Hey. Why don't you go there and read the mole?
No.
You don't want to be the PragerU mole?
No.
You go behind enemy
I
lines,
would probably end up like her. I would be fired like day one. They'd be like, "This is what we want to make this course about." I'd be like, "What the fuck?" Okay, I'm done. Bye.
Holla.
First thing you gotta do is change that fucking voiceover for Frederick Douglass, because that nigga's voiceover is horrible. That nigga sounds like a slave. He don't even sound like. Sound like motherfucking Morgan Freeman dropping Miss Daisy.
If I'm not mistaken, like Dennis Prager, I think, is the founder of this, and somebody else, and they're completely right-wing radio hosts. You know what I'm saying? But like, I want to say another employee of PragerU is somebody we know, Candace Owens. So if you know the type of bullshit Candace Owens, if you know the type of bullshit Candace Owens be on, that's the umbrella she work with is PragerU. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of wild that they use the word "you" when we should all know it means university, and then you say you unaccredited and don't claim to be a university. So
don't offer any degrees.
Yeah, but the reason why we're talking about it is because Florida is allowing that shit in the curriculum. They won't allow the AP African American History course, which was, fact checked by 300 African American academics, but they're gonna take this propaganda from PragerU, which on its face says it's not accredited.
It also says view counts represent cumulative views from our website and social media channels. So it sounds like it's real social media based, real kind of. So this is basically like YouTube.
Yeah, I mean it's not a format like YouTube, but they be on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, have y'all not seen PragerU before?
This was the first for me.
Today.
Well, maybe I get enough shit from my mom that it gets into my algorithm. But yeah, that's what they do. They put up straight right-wing bullshit and pass it off as fact. And so they make little videos and yeah.
Hey, but that jumps right back into.
So that cartoon shit, but then they'll also have like I said, Candace Owens' podcast and shit like that. They have a bunch of media that is directly, made with the intention of persuading people to take on conservative values.
So I done fell down a little bit of a rabbit hole.
I was gonna say that plays right back into what that young man was talking about. Motherfuckers just looking at headlines and reading shit and forming ideologies off of it. Like it plays right into that.
Yeah, I wonder what the Venn diagram would look like between the Shade Room and PragerU. I don't know.
I'll have to research that for the next episode. I also recently learned, now it says Prager University Foundation. When you click on their state disclosure, it says that they are a 501c3 organization, gifts to which are deductible as charitable contributions for federal income tax purposes. I feel like this is just getting real shady real quick.
Now they got a tax shelter.
That's the other end of the RICO.
I'm about to say they need to hit it with the RICO,
nigga. We need somebody on the inside.
They the Proud Boys of this shit. Nigga, they the foot soldiers.
Let me stop.
Nigga, we just hit a Connect 4 on y'all ass.
No, it's about to be Battleship here in a minute where our shit's about to get sunk. Okay, let's see what we got next, y'all. Okay, wait a minute.
I bet you The Blind Side was made by PragerU. Would not be surprised. What's the Venn diagram on that?
It would be very accurate to say.
All right, I don't want to blindside y'all with this noise. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Micheal Oher, and I was a troubled youth. That's before the Tui family found me in the street and brought me into their home. They taught me how to weed, they taught me how to write, and they taught me how to play football. And most importantly, they made me a part of their family. And because of the Tui family, I was able to get a scholarship to Ole Miss University. Lord knows where I'd be if it wasn't for the Tui family. If you've seen the movie The Blind Side, then you know that's how they depicted Micheal Oher, which he had a huge problem with because, one, he could read and write. Two, they didn't find him in the street. He was going to school every day. And not only did they not teach him how to play football, he was already one of the best football players in the country, All-American to be exact, before he even met them. Then why say nothing? Well, according to Micheal, it doesn't matter if he had something to say about it anyway because he doesn't own the rights to his own likeness, which he signed away to the Tui family, who he had thought adopted him, but instead had him sign a conservatorship, which made them the primary decision makers when it comes to any business pertaining to Micheal Oher. What is it?
Okay. So, did y'all know that part about the conservatorship part? Because up until this kind of bubbled over, I thought he was adopted.
I mean, that's what we were led to believe.
So
it came out this week. Yeah.
So did he. That's the thing. That's why he's suing them. So did he. He thought he was adopted.
I totally get it. But like with a conservatorship, now conservatorship is a legal arrangement in which one or multiple guardians are appointed to make important decisions, often financial and health related, for someone who is considered unable to make those decisions for themselves. So how is he well enough to go knock people out the way on the football field, but not well enough to make his own decisions?
Well, they probably, like, the conservatorship only they knew about, and whoever accepted it. So everybody else just thought. And then, like, I was even watching something. I saw a video clip today where the producer or some person behind the scenes of this movie, I think it was a producer of The Blind Side. I still have never seen The Blind Side. I refuse to see it. But the producer was talking to some, like, Hollywood, kind of that, how they all stand in front of the black screen, like, for the promotional videos, talking about how Micheal Oher got into university or whatever school he went to because he was dumb, and that school clearly has no. He was on the dean's list, but clearly that must mean that the school's dean list ain't shit because he's dumb, and they knew he was dumb, and so now the school is really focused on football and not on academics so it's like all this stuff that they've done to make people believe that he is a certain way when he was never that way. He was super smart, and that's how he got into the school where he met the whatever that Tui family, whatever the fuck they're called. Like, that's how he met them. Like, they just knew to use him from the beginning, and it's just really fucked up, and it makes me so angry. All of it.
I would say that
they made it so that their motherfucking two biological kids, who are actually their kids, got royalties. So the two parents and the two white kids got royalties from this fucking Blind Side movie, but he didn't get shit still to this day from that movie. They still get royalty checks, however often you get royalty checks from. It's like, just fucking stupid.
So, I mean, what they did is they preyed on him. He was a 18-year-old, so he was able to sign over conservatorship, but probably not old enough to understand what the fuck it was. And they told him it's like being adopted.
Yep. Got him in a Britney Spears deal.
But see, like, I feel like the NFL, when they signed him, should have been like, wait a minute. If you can't make decisions for yourself, how can you retain this game? How can you go out? So were they abusing him too?
They were. I mean, they accepted the lie too. Because I saw one article that said that even in the NFL, people kept thinking that he was dumb the whole time he's been playing, and like wouldn't give him certain deals, wouldn't give him tell him about certain plays and all this shit. So even in the NFL, people believe the lie that this family was saying about him and that he's dumb and shit. I mean, I'm sure, is he still playing? I don't even know anything about this dude.
I think he's retired.
Wherever, I'm sure they started to realize, oh, he's actually really smart. But the whole fucking lie, because he's got this movie that's all about him, supposedly, everybody just believes whatever it said.
So you asked if the NFL took advantage of him. The NFL takes advantage of everybody.
I get that.
But what I'm saying is I don't think they did anything special to him. I'm sure he got paid his salary for what he was doing there, but that's not about his name, image, and likeness. The movie was based not on his football career, but based on selling the rights to his story. And they had the rights. They owned the rights because he signed over the conservatorship when he was probably too young to know what the fuck was going on. And so I think that's what this is about. So.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, I mean, the Tui family fucking him over is bad enough, but I just wanted to make sure he was at least able to retain some, or if not all of what he made once he signed to the NFL. I would hate for that family to continue to profit off of him even as he entered into his NFL career. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the movie money. I don't think it's the playing days money.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, that had nothing to do.
So I mean, he need to get paid because I mean that story's about him. This fucking nefarious ass family. We wouldn't know shit about them if they weren't attached to Micheal Oher. So if they're making money off a movie, goddamn it, he need to make the lion's share of the movie money. I ain't saying they can't get paid a little bit, but
well, right now they claiming they only made $14,000 off the movie.
Well, then that's my $14,000. That's not what it was.
I agree.
That's not what it was, because that movie fucking won an Oscar, and it won a Cooney too. I want to point it out that let it be known. We brought this movie up for the Cooney Awards back in, what was that, 2019, somewhere in there. I think that might have been on the old show. It might have been on the Nicaraguan. I think that was like in fall of 19, or not fall, in the spring of 19. We did the Coonies, and this definitely was up for I think Karen in a in a white savior movie, I think was the category. Something stupid like that.
White savior movies.
So hey, listen up. Go back in the archives. The Coonies. That shit is gold. It's in there. It's on the Nicaraguan Classics.
Can I get a couple more?
Now the Tubies can be up for Bag of Dicks and You Ain't Shit Award.
Oh, so. Yeah, they come back for some bags of dicks. Yes, indeed. In the white privilege. Mm-hmm. Great moments of white privilege here.
They going for the trifecta, nigga?
They going for the trifecta. They go connect 4 on that ass.
They might be the first one.
$300 million and they get 2.5. I can't do math, but 2.5% of $300 million seems like I can't do that math.
There it is, right there. 225,000. That's a lot of damn money. That's not the 14,000 you said, Cole. Nope.
I'm just saying what they're saying. I'm not saying that's what's true. I'm saying that's what the family's saying.
Plus, and no, wait. No, that's 225,000 to each child plus 2.5 of the film's profits. So that's it's not even that number. That's per child, plus a cut of the take.
And 2.5% of 300 million is $7,500,000.
Yeah.
Did the family got up this fucking movie, lying bitches, and tens of $1 millions in home video. So that's even more that they got from that part. And I'm sure that there's some type of, before it got on Netflix and all that shit, some type of like syndication or whatever when it got played on the local channels or whatever the fuck. So they've made a lot of money from this, and he's gotten zero.
And I want.
And he's been made to look like a stupid fucking idiot. Apparently, does he look real dumb in the movie? I never saw it. But
yeah,
they made him
look like this charity case.
Yeah, they. Oh God.
They had this fucking 7-year-old boy teaching his future NFL player how to play football with fucking salt shakers. Like, no.
What does that even look like? I don't even understand.
It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid.
It was hard to watch. It was.
And so I think Sandra Bullock need to give her Oscar back. She stole that too.
Sandra has
like, what?
She hasn't said shit this whole ordeal.
I'm gonna give back my Oscar. At least denounce it, say something about it.
They're just living the white savior life for real with her little black adopted children.
Oh yeah, that's right.
True. True.
It sounds like he's really in a bad place emotionally. It's saying that it's devastating him.
Could you imagine, like you've been told that you've been adopted, and then found out it was never an adoption? It was really an elaborate scheme to steal you out of your future earnings. Mm-hmm.
I hate when they do this. They try to justify the action. Oher was one of 12 children born to his mother who struggled with drug addiction. Before his 11th birthday, he was placed in a foster care where he bounced around numerous homes. That does not give anyone the right to do anything that they did to him.
It gives context to understand why he would have thought he was adopted, but
I think it just builds the case of why he was preyed upon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same difference.
Things can be true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Damn. Okay. Oh, But he didn't start playing football until
And then,
11th grade. I
the
didn't know
fact that it says he was getting scholarship offers, and that's when the Tuhees or whatever the fuck was like, we need to get on this boy. He doesn't have parents. Let's see if we can be his parents while he's about to get all these. He's real good. He's going to not only get college scholarships, he might go into the NFL. Let's get him on our side real quick. What can we do? Let's say we're about to adopt him.
So wait. You said what year did he begin playing football?
He didn't play football until his 11th grade year,
yeah.
But he was a sports prodigy, excelling in track and field, basketball, football, and it says that he studied the game for years, but he didn't start playing for the new school until 11th grade.
Wait, so the new school he played for 11th grade, but up into 10th grade, he was playing football at the other school, right?
Well, he attended 11 schools in 9 years, so...
But it says here, or began attending the school in the 10th grade, even as his home life remained chaotic. He was a sports prodigy, excelling in track, basketball, football. Again, he studied for years. So I'm thinking before 11th grade, he was playing football.
Oh, okay. My apologies, y'all.
It's really unclear because I thought he started playing football in 11th grade. But yeah, he must have played before that. And just at the new school, he started playing there in 11th grade.
Yeah,
okay.
So they're making it like nobody saw this fucking 6'8" monster. It was like, maybe you should play football.
Well, no, I mean, even if you he was a fucking All-American in high school.
Right, he was an All-American in high school, but the question is, what's the timeline on that? Was that he just picked up the game after the fucking con artist, you know what I'm saying, condom? Or
oh no.
So when did he pick up the game? What's the timeline on when he picked up the game, became an All-American? Because what old buddy said, Ryan Davis said, is that he was already an All-American before he even met this family.
All right. So he probably got his junior year. He probably became an All-American at that school he was at. Mm-hmm. And that's where he stayed till he graduated, and that's probably where they caught him.
So they picked him up like senior year, and I think it was like try to do the adoption thing after he was 18. So it all sounds fucking nefarious. Yeah. And what they made the thing about in the movie was them pushing him to go to Ole Miss because they went to Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And when it's
so this is really all Ole Miss fault. They put the Tuies up to it.
Could be, but
Could be.
It might. It might be a RICO.
I'm saying
the whole fucking show. Everybody, RICO.
Hey, hit him with the RICO. It could be, like you said, the Tuies is Ole Miss alum, big time Ole Miss alum. They went, got the boy to go to Ole Miss, and it turned into, oh shit, he going to the league. Oh shit, we can make a movie off of this. Oh shit, we can get some money off of this. Probably started with something really small and turned into something really big.
Okay, Tuies, y'all might just get hit with the RICO. So sad.
So, Micheal Oher, who was paid to protect the blind side, definitely got blindsided.
Break bread with your brothers whenever possible.